So BigBear AI was definitely moving today. We see a huge uptick the last few weeks and then recently corrected back down. We just wrapped up our live trading session. We were trading against the market here with this SOXS position. It's up about $94 on about a 30 or a $3,000 position. Pretty small there, but about almost $100 profit so far. At one point we were up 160 on this trade. There it is, $100 profit. And we entered it this morning. Why would we go against the market? Well, you can see this market has been really up the past few weeks, and we just started to see some of the markets relieve a little bit and start to pull back down. And again, that's exactly why we traded it this morning and taking advantage of the market correction. If you guys ever want to see our daily live trading, it's the second link in the description down below to watch me trade live. So take a look here. BigBear AI starts to recover and then has a huge push up. And recently today we see it pull back about 6.7% down to about $6.25 before recovering slightly to $6.30. So when we're looking at the movements now, a couple things to consider. The first thing is that we didn't see any market correction with the Iran missile strikes. We didn't see any market correction with the inflation rate coming in higher than expected, or the supply of homes showing higher than normal. I mean, there are things that normally would push the market down that we didn't see push the market down in the last few weeks. So today, we did see that correction take place. Most of the stocks up, like this is the inverse of NVIDIA, inverse of Tesla. So you do see some, like Symbotic Robotics is up, but for the most part, you see the markets kicking in negative here. And when we were trading this morning, we're thinking about that. We're saying the corrections here. What do hedge funds normally do before the sell-off? Do they just sell their shares? Like BBAI, do you think that they just sold their shares? Or do they normally drive the price up so that they get a higher amount of buying happening in the market and more retail and more people to take the other side of that position so they sell out? That's normally the approach. So when we see the correction take place here, it's possible it's just a short-lived slight dip before something bigger. And in the long term, it most likely is. But on just kind of a overview of the market, we see the all-time highs reached on SPY after that V-shaped pattern. I remember I drew this white line when it was down here and I said, we're going to see something like this. And the V-shaped pattern hits hard. Now we're at all-time highs. We see the market then hit all-time highs, then sell back down. And today, BigBear AI down about 6.85%. So a couple things to consider again. We're at this level where it's just getting rejected. We do have a very strong support level here at about $6 a share for BBAI. That's that previous resistance level that we saw it break above and validate and push up to. So it's approaching that $6 price point. So we got to watch that previous resistance as a support. And we also got to look at some of the upcoming earnings. You know, in the earnings we released this week in StockMate, there wasn't anything crazy for what we had because it's a quiet week. You don't have big tech really producing any earnings. I guess, yeah, Franklin Covey, you got UniFirst, Quamco. You don't have any big earnings coming out. But when we get back into earnings seasons like we had, let's say, a month ago, and we see some of the targets come out in StockMate for the highly anticipated, NVIDIA or, Apple and Google or even BigBear AI, the markets will most likely have some potential to heat up at that moment. So, and also really big shout out to some of our members, some really nice inputs on great insights for different things that are happening in AI, quantum, space tech. So if you guys, again, if you want to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, that's the place. So BigBear AI has seen this sell down. When we're looking at these levels at a $6 price point, we'll be watching closely to see if it holds. The overall consensus recently with BigBear, if we go into what has been the main focus, the thing that comes into play is their very scan. This is their technology that they're starting to see massive expansion into many airports. They got the Department of Defense contracts, they got the US Army contracts. They just came out with an article today. BigBear demonstrates AI driven forecasting and sentiment analysis at Project Convergence Capstone 5 experiment. So this is essentially Project Convergence Capstone 5, which is going to be referred to as PCC5, is a combined joint and multinational experiment allowing partners and allies across Australia, Canada, France, Japan, New Zealand, United Kingdom, and all branches of the United States military to integrate resources and technologies in support of defense transformation efforts for future warfighters. It says experiment presented opportunities for multinational forces to test next generation command control systems using relevant AI models. So this is very interesting. It sounds like Mission Impossible type stuff, right? BigBear is proud that Vane VANE continues to demonstrate operational value in real-world exercises and experiments like PCC5 involving forces from multiple nations. So imagine, I mean, they don't really go into a huge detail here, but imagine you have AI that is looking at, let's say, all the ports or all the entries or the amount of immigrants, or maybe it's using their over the top analysis, the real-time monitoring. My long-term investments in BigBear, I really like the direction they're going. The short term, super volatile. It is AI companies in defense that have a lot of volatility. But when you see the direction they're going, the movement they're having with using AI, they got some partnerships that would make sense that they continue to see that develop as a main focus. For example, they do have a lot of data that they're now starting to build this database of from their different technologies at ports of entries, and then even developing Department of Air Force here cyber resilient on orbit solution. So they're going into as well AI and machine learning for equipping these satellites with satellite systems that have AI integrated analysis. So that, I don't know if they show too much of that from the AI. If we go to the space, they don't really have it listed. Maybe in predictive intelligence, it would be shown, but they have a lot of the Department of Defense contracts, things like that. It kind of shows promise in that they could be compared potentially to Black Sky. As we know, Black Sky's satellites have this like analytical element where they're able to see different ports, different people, different airlines, and things like that, where they really do focus down on this Gen 3 satellite, and they focus on the AI as well. So with now BigBear kind of going in the same direction in a way, the only advantage that Black Sky really has there that is a big advantage is the actual hardware. So they do the software, but they also have their Gen 3 satellites that they just launched with Rocket Lab up into space. So they have their own satellites. I don't know that BigBear is there, and so that's okay. But that's not their main market. Their main market's going to be the VeriScan and focusing on the airports. And that's where we see them get into recently. So when we looked at their recent announcement of different airports, huge amount of airports. So again, we're approaching this level. It's possible the $6 price point's there. We talked about an $8 target, but we didn't say it was just going to absolutely continue to shoot up. I've been actually saying it's going to pull back here for a couple days. The market's just taken some time. It was yesterday that we entered that SOXS position. So we will be watching that today. So again, one thing to note, kind of the reasoning behind why we took that trade in Stockmates was because the market was just showing so much signs of growth. And look at this. It's like very consistent in its recovery, the market. This is the semiconductor market. And essentially, we're looking at it and we're saying, hey, could we see this sell down in this overall uptrend take place? If so, SOXS could see this happen where we get to see it do, as you can see, it's the exact opposite. So it's like trending downwards. We're trading a downtrend, higher risk, but we have our plan in place. And I think, yeah, it's hovering. It's a little bit up, about $50. But we were doing the math this morning, and one of the things to consider was this trade calculator. We went in, we got our trade calculator together, and when we use our trade calculator, it tells us how much profit we're looking for and where to manage our risk. And so we did that this morning, and it seems to be a really good system so far. So we continue. Now, the other thing I wanted to touch on as we kind of cover AI and space tech and things like that, and we're trading in the markets, it's really important to know that, like, you don't have to force trades, especially when the market's correcting. The long term can be good. Realize that, like, it's easier to make more money. It will be easier to make more money faster than it will be to make a bunch the same amount of money, like, slower. Like, I'll give you an example. Like you will be a millionaire. Like, I could tell you right now, 100%, you can be a millionaire with your current income. And you'd say, well, that might be crazy, or maybe you're already a millionaire, and that's fine, that's cool. But what I mean is, you could be making $60,000 a year, and you could be a millionaire, but it's just going to take you, however many years, many years, I don't know, 40 years or something, before you make $1 million, and that's if you don't spend it. Whereas, I found that with trades, if I'm doing like a bunch of little trades, it's like not going to be as rewarding as going for those big opportunities. Like, if you talk to most people that have made a lot of money investing, they'll say, yeah, it was like there was a few like big opportunities that really made the big difference. And so we like to look for those. Does that mean we don't trade every day? I mean, we usually trade probably 3 or 5 times a week, depending on how the markets are. Today, we just kind of held this from yesterday. But for the most part, like, what I mean is, don't always think that you have to make all these little trades and like slowly work your way up. It's like everybody thinks maybe that's the key, but the key is like find, just maybe it's just one big opportunity a month, and that one big opportunity a month can make your entire goal of the investing amount you're trying to make in that 1 month. Does that make sense? It's like, I've found that it's easier to focus and find one opportunity and make, $5,000 or $10,000 trade in a day than it could be to try and trade like 20 different stocks all in one day. So what I'm saying is, we just want to focus on value. It's really important, especially in this market. We've been patiently looked, and we're saying, hey, market's pulling back. So we're, in this case, going against the market for a short term. And we're going to see how it plays out through today. So thanks so much for watching, guys. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. If you guys want to join us in our daily live sessions in StockMate, and also get access to some of the targets we got for this week, then I would encourage you guys to join us in our daily live trading tomorrow. It's happening at 6:30 a.m. Second link in the description. We got a nice sale there for you for 4th of July approaching. So I would encourage you to take a look. When it comes to the value we're getting here on YouTube, a lot of it is your guys' ideas. So comment down below. What are you watching? What are you looking at in the markets? Really do appreciate you all. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.